Hey, good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time you see this broadcast. uh, this is Andre Russell, CEO of the Smith Center for Community Advancement. I am here with a very good brother, a good friend, a good brother, someone who I actually lost connection with and reconnected with a few years ago. We went to school together way back in the day. And when we reconnected, he was like, "Hey, I know you," and I'm like, "You look familiar too." And we was doing community work even then. And since we reconnected, I mean, to see this brother do what he's been doing out here for the community and for his family, I just had to, put him in the spotlight. So this is Marquinn McDonald, aka Q or Quinn. uh, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, sir. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. So basically, what I want to do was just talk about, why I think you're so dope. Part of it is because of your skills as a martial artist and instructor. And then talk about some things that you've been doing in the community to help the community. So just tell us a little bit about yourself right now, please.
Man, so I've been trying to make it as quick as possible because I can tend to be long-winded. So for everybody, forgive me. Name is Marquinn McDonald. I've been born and raised in Chicago. I've been studying martial arts for 35 years. This is my profession. I also work in the security world. I've done everything from working with AF security services, being an usher, all the way to securing political figures in our city, and I'm a consultant in that world as well as martial arts. I don't take on the title of activist, though some of my friends would consider some of the work I've done as activism. But I am one who believes in extreme ownership. And what I mean by that is of my community. This is my house. This is my neighborhood. This is my community. This is my village. And I have the duty, in my humble opinion, of protecting it, serving it, and doing my absolute best and building it up so it can be a better version of itself daily. So
absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. That's the core of what the Smith Center stands for. By building strong communities, you build strong families, and vice versa. And taking your talents where they need to be. Staying in your lane and supporting others by doing what you feel is passionate. So you have definitely exemplified that, and that's another reason why I'm happy that we reconnected and clicked, because you're such a genuine brother in that aspect. So I wanted to definitely make sure that you got your shine with that. So let's talk about let's talk about the self-defense part first and foremost, especially being out here in the community. Tell us about your services for that and why you chose to do that.
So thank you. So I didn't mention within introducing myself, I'm also the owner of Quantum Martial Arts and Fitness and Quantum Tactical. Quantum Tactical is something that we're building now. So if anybody goes to Google it, they won't find it at the moment. But Quantum Martial Arts and Fitness, like I said, I've been doing martial arts for 35 years. And believe it or not, I think it's always been my passion to do self-defense and to be in that realm. Ever since I was a kid watching the Super Samurai Sunday flicks all the way to the Ninja Turtles to whatever. It's just in me, man, right? In my humble opinion, it is always said that the first law of nature is self-preservation. And with that being said, you got to have some forms of security. And I take pride in showing others how they can prevent or reduce the chances of a violent encounter from happening, and how they can increase their awareness and their shield, if you will. If something happens to get past that shield and they have to physically defend themselves, they know how. Whether it's they mentally have to protect and defend themselves, they know how. It's not just martial arts, in my opinion, is not just about throwing up your fists. It's a life thing. This is, it's about how you move. It's a lifestyle, from how you garden to how you cooked to how you think to, your discipline. It's all encompassing. So it has been my absolute joy to show that. Every year we do a large women's workshop in October. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so we do a large workshop with conjunction with the organization called Lady. And I do about 5 women workshops every year. And then what I've decided to do is make a focus, not just teaching children martial arts, children and adults, but I have an extreme focus on women's self-defense and safety right now. And actually, it's self-protection, defense, and fighting. I teach those 3 avenues, the differences of the 3, and how they are to be applied, and and right now I have a big focus. Like tonight, we have a women's self-defense group that's meeting. We meet every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. whether at the school, which is located at 800 South Wales, and the South Loop, or because of the whole COVID thing, we've been doing virtual classes as well as meeting outside in the park. This evening we'll be at anybody that wants to come by and just try it out, feel free, Mandrake Park, which is located on 39th and Cottage Grove. And every Tuesday and Thursday we train, and every other Wednesday we take them, they learn about they get firearms training. And actually, let me clarify, they go to the range every other Wednesday. They actually go daily. We have other instructors, and we have a very, very great brother that's a certified firearms and licensed firearms instructor who takes them through the basics, understanding of firearms safety, and teaches them about that so women can know how to actually really defend themselves if need be. So that's been my pleasure. And then something else, I have a group of men every night. Who are martial artists. They train with me. Every night we go in the community of Bronzeville and we patrol. We patrol between the hours of 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. And right now we have just a small block, which is from 47th to 43rd. We extended it. Originally it was from Wabash to Cottage. Now it's from the Dan Ryan all the way to Cottage Grove. And we go from 47th to 35th.
Wow.
And so we expanded it a little bit. And sometimes we're deep. Sometimes it maybe used to be a few of us, but we realize that it's been a great deal of conversations going around about policing, and we just realize that they can't. It has to be us. They're a reactionary force. I'm not saying that they're worthless, but at the moment, I can only feel comfortable and safe in my community if I'm involved. So these men have gotten together in the same like mind to go out, patrol, report, record, and monitor our neighborhoods and our community.
That is a dope concept because, everybody's talking about, everybody has their issues right now with police. That's the best word I can think of. Their concerns about police and policing and everything. And everybody's talking about, what you're talking about doing in the community and basically being a part of the patrolling and everything. What are some things that you have witnessed and observed that people need to know about out here when you're out here? Bless you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
No problem.
So I'll say this, that there is a definite need for communication and connection with community. I want to give a shout out to my mother. She lives in Calumet City, and on her block, it's unlike any other block that I've seen. And that's what really, I've been out here for years, but I have never seen something like it. Except for one other time, and that was when I was living with my grandmother when I was younger. She knows every last one of her neighbors. It is incredible. She literally knows every last one of her neighbors, first, last name. They all know what each other does professionally. They know almost each other's family. The whole block has an understanding. You can't go on that block like thinking that you're going to be on some madness. They had someone that moved in. I guess they were doing some things that were just undesirable, And the whole block got together and approached their neighbor, not just one. It's different when you got numbers coming at you like, hey, how you doing? They're coming in love. Like, we love you here. This is, but please, we all have some concerns. And it's the whole neighborhood.
Mm.
And because of the way that they operate amongst each other and city officials, they had a couple of houses that were for sale and were bought, and they turned out to become drug houses.
Mm.
Gone within 6 months. Like, they was just like, you know what, we got to leave. Because they worked together and organized and was like, not in this neighborhood, not on this block. No. And what that really was an epiphany for me, because I'm like, my grandmother sort of instilled that in us when we were younger. I lived in Chatham, and I noticed my grandmother, I used to look at my grandmother and be like, why is she sweeping? She'd be down the street with a broom, sweeping up, early morning, just sweeping. And I come outside and I'd be like, Granny, what you doing? Why are you cleaning? She'd be like, this is my neighborhood. This is mine. And I used to be a kid looking like, it is? Like, it's yours? But I got it. The older I got, the more she instilled in me, like, no, this is yours. This is ours. This is hers too. This is his. This is our block. So when I saw that with my mother, I said, okay, we have to start really instilling that, and that's lacking. And we see it every night, man. I see it every day. Neighbors will come out. I've come outside to and waved at neighbors to get to know them, and they like, and I'm like, whoa, we have people in our building. I'm like, okay, we have neighbors in the building that we live in, and they're not interested in getting to know you. However, I'm still going to protect them. We heard some, like about a month ago, I'm hearing banging downstairs on the back door. It sounded like on the back door. So I went to check it out, and I didn't see anything. And I realized, they're inside. So I called the landlord first, like, hey, do you have anybody working in here? And he was like, yes, they just entered in. I said, okay. He said, those are my people inside. Okay, I didn't know. So she should know. I need them to understand. I'm still, even though we ain't talking, I'm still going to take some form of accountability and responsibility towards you as my neighbor. And I see that she's an elder, but she has a young person with her. So, hey, I'm gonna look out for you still. And if it wasn't, and if he said no, well, then I'm still going to dial 911. But I'm finna check it out. Now, I know some people will look at that and be like, oh, you're trying to be a hero, or oh, that's dumb, or all that's. No, I'm sorry. The reason why I want to dial 911, and the reason why I want to just make sure and check it out, and I'm going to put myself in a position of advantage, if you will. They may come upstairs next. My wife and I lived in another part of right off of Bronzeville, and we had a break-in. I came home, and I think I just missed them. But they broke into the apartment that was right next door to us, and they decided, hey, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna break into this one too. And so, I'm like, okay, they may decide to come here next. There's no alarm system downstairs, so they don't know what I have up here, and they may not even care. They may just kick that door in, and hey, I got children up here, man. I got children. Now, fortunately, my children weren't here that day. But I still have my children, my wife are here. That's where I lay my head. I need to know. Plus, I want to see if I can see a face. I can't stand ghosts. I don't know if there's a ghost floating around my neighborhood. I just can't see him. He's impacting everything, and I need to see. So that's just me. I'm not telling everybody they need to be that way. But in my opinion, that's just who I am. That's who my father was. That's who my grandmother was. They were from the South. And so I see that the lack of communication with us it's a lack of
village.
There's no village. Yeah. And to speak on that, we'll say, well, this is my community, but I've been to events. Excuse me, forgive me, guys. I apologize.
It's okay. Hey, man.
I have very, very, very bad sinuses. So very bad right now. It's kicking my butt. We have to start defining what community is. Because I've been in spaces where I would ask, well, what's the definition of community? And the whole room has different definitions. Okay, so I'm noticing there is no real community. We live on the same block, we live in the same area, but I'm not seeing true community, if you will. Of you may know a few of your neighbors, but you only know maybe somebody that lives next door and someone that may live across the street, but you don't know everybody. We have to get into the habit of actually trying to speak to one another. Fortunately, I'm a part of a group of great brothers who created a concept of let's start a million conversations. And that whole piece is about see anyone in your community, just speak to them. And just, hey man, love your shirt. Hey, what's going on now? Yesterday, I went to go get my wife some food in Hyde Park, and while I'm leaving the restaurant, I was just pointing at people like, all right, now, all right, brother, I love that right there. Yo, I'm trying to get in the habit of that. Showing people some love, man. Like, yo, really getting out of, I can still stay guarded without shunning my own people. I want to still show you some love. Hey, man, love them glasses, bro. Looking good right there. It's not now. If they feel some kind of way about it, okay, fine. But hopefully that can be infectious and someone else is do the same thing. And it happened to me the other day. I don't know if you saw on my Facebook page. I posted. I'm in a suit sitting in the middle of the street at Giordano's because they got the social distancing thing. And this brother, when I'm going back to the car, he was like, "Man, I just ran into you, didn't I?" I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "It's good seeing you again." I said, "You got a bunch of food there." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Bro," he said, "Man, you beautiful in that suit, bro." Now I didn't feel any kind of way because he said I'm beautiful in that suit. Somebody may look at that kind of crazy. No, it made a brother feel good. He was like, "Man, you beautiful in that suit, brother." And I was like, "I appreciate that, man." I said, "Keep doing your thing." He's like, "I'm just out here hustling." I said, "Make that money." We don't even know each other. But it builds a camaraderie. It starts to build a relationship amongst you and your people. And I've just been feeling good doing that lately. And I rarely see it. I rarely see it, man. The one thing that I will say something else I noticed when it comes to that red, black, and green flag, because when we leave out, we post it on the cars, so people can feel a little bit of comfort. Like, who are these people circling the block? And we have a vest on. I saw some kids, brother. They couldn't be no older than 13, and it's about 30 of them. No exaggeration. I don't know why they was all out at night. They should have been at home. But when we drove down 39th Street. All these kids was running and playing, and when they saw the car, they literally stopped and was like, and I was like, whoa. Me and the guys in the car was just like, whoa. So we busted U-turn, came back so we could build some relationships. What's up now? All right, shorty, all right, I see you. And they laughing and playing, and they throwing up the fist or whatever. We got to start building that, man, and really defining what it is to be village, what it is to be community, and get out of our own way and understand that we are all we got and we are all we need. We are all we got and we are all we need. And that's what I've been seeing out here. I see where the police is completely they are nowhere near capable of stopping crime. They can't. It's a fallacy. When I see people make comments or posts or write articles about the police stopping crime, how come they can't? They can't. They're a reactionary force. Remember, the police come when 911 is called. And I see that there's something lacking in between. Where's the proactivity? That's the lack of investment. You see it. That's in our communities. It seems like there's a lack of interest in our communities. And because of this, there's a despair. But once again, we also have to turn into and look inside self and figure out how individually can I apply myself to better this situation here. And I believe it or not, it can be done. These brothers, we're not getting paid for this. I'm talking about, I got a group of brothers, a group of good black men who are out here like every single night, no exaggeration. We take about, out of 7 days a week, we'll take 2 days off so everybody can get some rest. But for the most part, and sometimes we do shifts, but we're out here every single night. They just realized that we had to change the value system. It ain't about money. We had to change what our value structure is. Money is good, but it's just a tool. It ain't about money. If I don't get out here and get involved, and all of a sudden somebody sets up shop on my corner, and all of a sudden now it's at my doorstep, and I'm looking for someone to fix the problem when I'm actually the plumber. I have fully capable of fixing the problem myself. I go and volunteer at these high schools. I teach these classes at these high schools. Want to know why? Because these young kids out here, they got to feel love. We got to come to us in love. And I'm telling you, they understand and they recognize it. Now, is everybody going to receive it and going to accept it the way you want them to? No. But that should not change what you need to do or what you could possibly do. Now, what do I mean by that? That don't mean you have to come out and patrol. You could set up a schedule where twice a week, you and your neighbors who are interested just sweep up the block. They not a piece of paper. If I took you on my mother's block right now, Andre, you'd be like, this is crazy. You'd be like, this is one of the most beautiful blocks I've ever seen in my life. It's like I don't even think there's a chipped piece of paint on anybody's house. Seriously. And I'm like, it's incredible. They cut each other's grass. There is no contract for anyone outside of our community to come in on that block and cut the grass. They literally cut each other's grass. And there's a gentleman who's an elder that they'll give some money to and be like, hey man, why don't you go ahead and take care of it? And this brother literally will do it. And if he can't get to it, another brother will pick it up and cut their grass. I saw a brother edging a few houses, edging the lawn, then went across the street. And I said, Mama, she said, oh yeah, that's such and such. He does that. Yeah, we gotta make sure that our block looks good. And I'm just like, whoa, we can do that. We can do that.
So
I'm sorry.
You were answering my questions internally. So some things you were saying were building up into what I was saying. And then I talked to you before, so okay. I know. But to hear you share these stories, this is what it's about. This is why we do what we do. So I'm enjoying this. A couple of questions, and I'm gonna let you go real quick. It's basically number one. Well, let me just say this, just reflect on everything you said. What you said about the village mentality and for the blocks is important. I think it's important that we do speak to each other and make that effort to speak to each other, whether it's in passing or not. So when I get in my car and I see people on the block, I stop and say, hey, good afternoon. How y'all doing? Y'all enjoying yourselves? Stuff like that. That little bit helps. That little bit helps. And it feels weird at first because it does feel weird to say hey to a stranger, but they're on your block. They shouldn't be strangers.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I got some people on my block right now I'm thinking about that are new, that have been living over here for a while. I don't know who they are, but maybe my neighbors do who I know. They know who they are, but I should know them too. They should know me. And so now you got my wheels turning about how I can jumpstart that in my own neighborhood to get to know my neighbors a little bit better.
Just think about it. It's the same concept. We came up in the 90s, right? We had, we came up and think about it. And in my humble opinion, I know some people may disagree. The 90s was worse than what I see what's going on now. It was bad. Now, what's going on now? We have some situations going on now that's bad, but the 90s, I was scared to death when I was in the 90s, man. But look, especially in a few of the neighborhoods I lived in, I'm gonna flip the coin real quick. Gangbangers do it. Depending on where I went and depending on the neighborhood, I would get greeted by those who said, "This is my block," and then they hit me with the "oh well," and if you don't respond properly, you might get approached like, "Hey, bro, where you from? What you doing over here?" And they're like, "Man, now, granted, that's in the negative. The approach may come off negative. I get it. But the concept is what I want us to understand. They still took ownership of it. Even though they may not own a piece of property on that block, they still took a level of extreme ownership where it was like, man, and you like, wait a minute. So we just got to flip the concept on the love, on the positive. And wait, how you doing? Like you said, how you doing, brother? Hey, what's up, man? All right. When we're on our front porch, a brother walked by And it's so good to see. It's gonna come from me and him. Where I be like, "What's going on, brother? You having a good day?" And he'd be like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." And, it's just as simple as that. I don't gotta stop him and be like, "Hey, man, where you from?" I don't have to do that. He's on his way. But hey, man, all right, big bro, you looking good right there. That's it. It's some good weather today, brother. Yes, it is. I know it makes you feel, because some people are introverts. They may be like, "Man, I ain't talking to nobody," and I get it. And that may not be your role. Actually, your role may be to organize something else that can benefit your village. But for those of us that has that ability, challenge yourself. Just say hello. Even if they don't say hello back, don't be like, "The fool didn't say hello back, man. Man." Don't do it. Just recognize where they may be, or they possibly may be. They could be having a bad day. They could just be, like I said, an introverted type of person. They could be someone, but just speaking. I'm telling you, when we go out here at night and we speaking to people, it changes. So much so now, we've been doing it so much so now that people recognize the car when they see the flags and they'll wave at it. It changes a lot. And also a level of extreme ownership is I get involved with every system that I possibly can within my city. There's city council meetings. Yesterday, I was listening to the board. I was tuned in virtually to the board meeting where they was voting on whether they was going to keep police inside schools or not. I need to be informed because my children go to these schools. I need to be informed. I need to be engaged. And guess what? I'm going to give my input. And I'm going to ask questions. And you're going to answer them. It's like it's as simple as that, because I recognize that with my family, I want my children to see that their father was involved. So when they get older, they can understand what that is and they can get involved too. That's what I want. I want them to see their mother and I having a great relationship. I want them to see that we have the ability to make adjustments and to become solutionists. We don't just focus on the problem. We recognize it, and then we find ways of making the adjustments that we need, right? And I need them to see me putting in that work. Because if they don't see it, it will not get instilled in them, and that may not even be them. It's going to fall to the wayside. I've heard once before by our elders. I've had elders tell me this. I've been to meetings. I remember going to a meeting at the Black United Front, Buffy.
Yeah.
And the elders did a presentation. This was a few years ago, where they stood up, and anyone that was 35 and younger, they said, "Sit down, just stay seated." They stood up and apologized to us and said, "We failed you." And what they meant was that we didn't properly prepare you. We got complacent in our comfortability, and we didn't properly prepare our community the way we needed to. And some of them even said, "My household, I've been fighting and marching, and I was doing this, that, and the third. And then the minute we got a little bit of something, I'm kind of like, and because I didn't want my children to have to go through that pain or that suffrage or that struggle, and I shielded them so. And now I'm seeing the fall of that." No, I want my children to feel some of that struggle. They have to. They have to know what it is to hunt. They have to know what it is, how to go out here and make it. I don't want my children to feel that they're not going to school so they can learn to work for somebody else, though that may be an avenue, but they need to know also how to build. And so I need them to see their father doing that. Their father worked the job. Their father's an entrepreneur or an inspiring entrepreneur, if you will. They see that I've built a business. They see my struggles. They see my pain. They see my smiles. And they see the fact that I am going to gut it out, make adjustments, work it out, and continue moving forward. And I'm also not afraid to take a step back, to reassess, to take 2 steps forward again. So they see that. That's a serious mission for me, to be a better version of myself daily, and to,
Right.
to be a great example for them. Because I don't want to look back and be like, when I'm on my bed and I'm, they all grown and married and they got children themselves, I don't want to look back and be like, I should have gave y'all more.
That's deep. One more question. I'm gonna close you out real quick. How can one reach out to you to support you? And
oh man, and one more time, let me just say this. Thank you so much for this again,
brother. This has been dope. I can't wait to share. I can't wait to share this because this is going into all the groups that need to see this stuff, because your words can help inspire other people to help either do more or just start doing something, period.
Thank you.
So that's what we're gonna do.
So if anyone is looking to connect with me, or just looking to learn anything about martial arts, or whatever, community, village, or just to build, they can reach me. They can email me at Quantum Marts. That is QUANTUM MARTS Once again,
hold on. Spell out again.
Quantum Marts. Quantum QUANTUM MARTS@gmail.com. They can reach me there. And they can find me on Facebook at Marquinn McDonald, spelled as you see it on the screen, MARQUINN. Last name McDonald, like the restaurant, MCDONALD. And you can also go, visit my website, which is QMartialArts.com. Once again, that is QMartialArts.com, where you can visit our school. And I'm also on Instagram under Marquinn McDonald as well.
Hold on for a second. Let me put that email up right quick. Hold on. I'm doing all this stuff by myself. So is that spelled right?
Yes, indeed. Yep.
Okay, and you said your give me the website.
www.qmartialarts.com.
Cool. Let me see if I got that right. Is that spelled right?
Let me see. Yes, that's
cool.
It.
All right. So I'll leave that up for a moment and they can check that out and everything. They can pause it. Quinn, yo, Q, brother, this has been so inspirational for me. When I say the spotlight, this is exactly what I'm trying to do. And I've been doing a few of these almost daily, it seems like. When I see people, when I think about people, I want to showcase. I don't just wait anymore until maybe it's not a good time. Maybe I should do this. No, I'm putting it out there now. I'm thinking about somebody. I want somebody to know about you. I'm putting it out there. I'm reaching out to you. I'm doing this. I've been doing this almost every day this week, just putting it out there. And I'm glad that I reached out to you, and to do this. I thought about this when we had our forum last week. I was like, I want people to, do that. But this is like, I'm doing it. Like you said, like you see it and you make it happen. This is what you want to do it. Don't wait. So this is me not waiting, so.
Yeah, and I got to thank you for this. The one thing I want to also say is through what's happened with this whole COVID thing, I know it's been a negative and we've lost some beautiful people due to this pandemic. But through this experience, I've seen some beautiful things as well. And like yourself, people have created new avenues. They're building new. They're just being creatives, building new platforms and businesses and going to new ventures. It's just been incredible, man. It's been a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
And I see what you're doing, brother. Like you said, back into the college days. When we were younger. To now, it's nothing but I see nothing but beautiful work being done. If we continue doing this, bro, we can literally change a lot.
Absolutely.
So
keep it going.
Yes, sir.
So, yo, give you the pound right quick.
There you go.
Yo, I appreciate you so much, Q. You have a good day. Have a great day. Have a great weekend coming up and everything. I'll catch you later, brother. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me go ahead and close out on this, and then I'll talk to you in a one quick second. All right, people. That's my time. That's our time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. And see y'all at the next Smith Center Spotlight. Peace.